Yeah, okay, so it's day 14 of the government shutdown, or should I say semi-shutdown. My first question has got to be this. After being gone from YouTube for just a few short days, and I do mean a few short days, because you cannot be gone from the insanity that is YouTube long enough. But at the same time, you kind of got to come back and see it, because you miss it so much. You know, the insanity of the YouTube vloggers, the insanity of the YouTube creators. I did come back with one question. Here it is. I'm going to start off with this. I just paid my sanitation bill. In other words, the sanitation is what they calculate has gone down the drain from your water bill. That's how they do it in this area. So if you use 1,800 gallons of water, they calculate that you flushed probably a third of that down the toilet or the drain into the sewage. Sanitation, right? I paid my sanitation bill. Well, I know that they're guessing at how much sanitation was actually flushed. I paid it. I found a way to pay my sanitation bill so that I could flush my poo. I was able to flush my poo because I paid my bill, right? Yet the government on day 14 still can't come up with a resolution on what to pay. And yet the debt ceiling, a little over 2 days away. And then even if we come to a short-term resolution, you know what that means, right? You've seen that before, haven't you? You know what that means. Even if we can't come up with a short-term resolution, or we do come up with a short-term resolution, in 90 days we're going to do it all over again. So in other words, we're going to keep on going poo. And I'm going to keep on paying my sanitation bill so I can keep on getting rid of the poo. But no matter how much money we throw at the U.S. government, they're not going to be able to flush the poo. The poo is this. This is what's inside and between their ears is the poo. And it's small. But it's getting bigger. There's nowhere to put it. So it's up to us, the American people, to say, you have a small piece of poo in between your ears. The U.S. government. Both sides. All parties. I get it. I understand it. I know it. I've heard it. I was able to pay my sanitation bill, even knowing I don't know where the poo is going. And you're telling me that I flushed that much poo. So I have to pay for that much poo. You're guessing, and I'm paying the bill. Something as insignificant as a piece of poo, unless otherwise stated, it gets stuck and you have to deal with the fermentation of the poo in your own home. The government has the option to say, tell you what, I'll meet you halfway. We'll get rid of the poo, at least down to the corner of the street, and let somebody else deal with the poo. It's kind of the same thing as borrowing money from Japan at this point, which they're getting ready to say, you want to borrow how much? Right? So, I think maybe it's time the government just takes a break. You know? Like I did. Take a break. Just sit down. Stop talking, because the talking's not working. And say this to themselves in their own minds, without any interference from the other parties. I really am full of a lot of poo. And I understand that now. So as long as I'm full of poo, I've already said the other side's full of poo. So as long as everybody sees that we're all full of poo, we're not going to get any shit done. Really? You see what I'm saying? You can't get anything positive out of poo. And right now the Congress is full of poo. Both sides are poo-poo. You got poo and oo-poo. Poo-poo. What I would like to see the Congress do, the Senate, the House, the President himself, Mr. President Obama, do what the rest of the American people have to do. Pay your bills, and then bitch about it after the check clears. Because that's what I do. That's what the people that hate me do. That's what the people that hate to hate me do, and the people that love to hate me do, and the people that hate to love me do. It doesn't matter what you say. You bitch and complain and cry after you pay the bill. Because that's what all the American people do, is they pay their bills and then they complain. Because if we did complain and not pay the bill, we wouldn't have anywhere to poo. It would make it very, very inconvenient to be in your home. Which, if the debt ceiling isn't passed at some point, or raised, I should say, it's not going to matter. Because the poo is going to go so high, it's going to break the ceiling. And there won't be a need for a limit of a debt ceiling, because the poo will have broken through it, which is the American people. At this point, the American people are the poo. I hope you're following this. I'm having a difficult time myself. But if I can pay my poo bill, maybe the government can pay their bill. And then we can all complain together. And then, God forbid, when the next election comes up, we can all remember who's really full of poo and deal with it accordingly. Day 14 of the government shutdown. Can you relate? Torp out.